Greetings, Boston Celtics fans. In today's video, I have a lot of updates to share, so make sure to subscribe to our channel. In this episode, we will be analyzing the various injuries that are affecting the team as we approach the 5th game. We'll discuss who is available to play, who is recovering, and who is still facing challenges. At the end of our discussion, we'll highlight an important change in a team between the 3rd and 4th games, which happened after a day of rest. Now, with one more day to prepare before games 4 and 5, what tactics can Boston adopt to secure the victory in this series? This matchup shouldn't extend beyond 5 games, and many people seem to think the same. At this point, I want to express my gratitude for the support we received during our live stream last night for the 4th game, where we achieved an impressive total of 49,000 subscribers. When I started this channel, we only had 18,000, and these past 18 months have truly been fantastic. I want to thank everyone for being with me on this journey. Now let's aim for 50,000. We're only 866 subscribers away from reaching that goal. Now let's talk about Jason Tatum. He's adopted a new way of celebrating when he hits 3-pointers. In the 4th quarter, Tatum made a long-range shot, raised his wrist, and declared that nobody could stop him. And that's absolutely true. Right now he's dealing with a significant wrist injury, but it's hard to tell he missed a previous game. In the following games, he's shown the playoff performance that Boston Celtics fans have been waiting for, scoring 36 points in one game and 37 in another, playing an average of about 40 minutes per game. He's almost averaging a double-double in consecutive games. Although his assists have dropped a bit, his shooting ability, both from the field and beyond the arc, has impressed me, especially against a team with the best 3-point defense in the NBA, allowing the fewest 3-point attempts. Right now, he's averaging about 2.5 3-pointers per game, and I truly admire an athlete like Jason Tatum, who continues to push himself despite such a serious injury. After one of the games, he mentioned that he is fully aware of his situation and that his team understands the seriousness of what he's going through. But this is the time of year when everyone pushes themselves to the limit. Watching Tatum in action, I don't see any signs of his injury, and I'm sure you don't either. Everyone is sacrificing their bodies and dealing with the adversities of the playoffs. I doubt anyone feels fully healthy, but the truth is that when they step onto the court, everyone gives their best looking for ways to secure the win. I completely agree with that perspective. This is basically game 96 of the season for all the NBA teams that are now in the postseason, and no one is feeling great. However, the way Tatum handles his injury shows why he is a key piece of this franchise. Recently, he became the player with the most 30-point playoff games in the entire league since 2020, which was 5 years ago. Tatum shines in the playoffs, and while there's no doubt an increase in adrenaline, especially on the road where teams are trying to stand out, Tatum is not just scoring 37 points. He's also defending his teammates and even contesting referee calls, which may not be an attitude I would support, but his dedication is commendable. Tatum is using every ounce of energy he has, and it's clear that Boston sees him as a source of leadership and inspiration. Whether acknowledged or not, Tatum is establishing himself as the most important player for the Boston Celtics. This doesn't diminish the contributions of other team members, but Tatum's absence from the lineup would make the team lose that extra spark he brings, especially during the playoffs. When he injured his wrist, I knew the challenge would be about enduring the pain, and I understood that Tatum would come back with even more fire. His determination's admirable. He refuses to stay off the court, playing through the discomfort. However, recognition must be given where it's due. As Tatum mentioned, no player is fully recovered at this point, and even some of his teammates are dealing with injuries but continue to face the challenges. I was expecting a certain player to return even stronger. This athlete is extremely determined and doesn't let himself get down. He keeps facing the pain, but it's important to acknowledge the effort he's been putting in. As mentioned, no one is at their best right now. Another player is dealing with multiple injuries, yet still maintains an impressive average of 25 points per game, having scored 36 points when the previously mentioned player had to miss one of the games. Recently, I found out that he's dealing with a severe injury to his right knee bone, which happened during the regular season. In addition, he dislocated his index finger in one of the games. You may have noticed him holding his hand thinking he had hurt it. In reality, he had to reposition his finger, and even so, he continues playing with this injury. Right now, his finger is still dislocated, which is a complicated situation, as he's dealing with issues both in his lower and upper body. But the situation doesn't end there. Another player missed 2 games, and I'm starting to get worried about him as he's been dealing with a thigh injury throughout the year. Additionally, it was reported that he received 5 stitches on his forehead due to an incident. So while one player competes with stitches, another deals with a thigh injury, and the hands of 2 players are in terrible condition. And that's just the beginning. We need some time to breathe. That's why winning in 5 games is crucial. This team is physical and can handle contact, but I really wouldn't want this to go to a 6th game. The good news is that I don't believe that will happen. One coach expressed confidence that a player will return in the 5th game, and that's what I'm hoping for. I'm convinced that the team has a better chance of winning with this player on the court, as he's one of the most impactful in the league. His defense against an opponent is key, and the way he creates chaos when another player tries to drive is crucial. This player's presence is indispensable for us to finish the series in 5 games. Even if he doesn't return, I still have confidence. Another player's situation is important, especially because of his defensive ability. His impact on the opponent is considerable, as is the disruption he causes when another player tries to drive. I believe this player needs to return for us to close the series in 5 games. If he doesn't return, I still feel the team can achieve this goal, but I feel much more secure with him on the court. So here's the question. Will the team be able to finish the series in 5 games? This series shouldn't go to 6 games. In fact, it shouldn't even reach 5. But a series of 21 turnovers led to that in one of the games. Let's discuss how the team can ensure a win in the next matchup. I wouldn't suggest many changes from the previous game, but there are enough modifications that deserve attention. Before diving into those details, I want to make sure everyone is updated on the latest news to celebrate the team. A player recently won a major award for the first time in his career, and it's essential for fans to support this athlete everywhere. This achievement is significant for the guard who stands 6 feet 1 inch tall. It's crucial to ensure everyone has access to these products. Now, how can the team close the series? The first step is to increase the physical intensity. They had an admirable performance in one of the games, especially compared to the previous one, as they didn't allow their opponents to dominate the painted area. They started to find alternative ways to deal with those standout players, even with one of their athletes guarding one of them, who has great height and weight. Also, I like that the coach made a change during the game, which I believe should be kept for the next matchup. For some reason, a 6'1" player was assigned to guard a 6'10" opponent, knowing that his strength isn't in 3-point shooting or close-range finishes. Instead, it's in his fadeaway shots. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In a recent interview, Jaden Springer expressed regret over his decision to leave the Boston Celtics, a move that has sparked considerable attention in the basketball community. The young guard, who was part of the Celtics system for a brief period, opened up about his departure, revealing that he now wishes he had stayed with the team longer to develop under their guidance. Springer, a promising talent with a lot of potential, had initially joined the Celtics with hopes of making an impact. His decision to leave came at a time when many were excited to see how he could contribute to one of the most successful franchises in NBA history. However, his exit was marked by a sense of uncertainty as it became clear that the team had other plans for their roster. Despite his early departure, Springer's regret seems to stem from the realization that he left behind an opportunity to grow alongside some of the NBA's best. Reflecting on his time in Boston, Springer mentioned the environment and coaching staff as key factors that could have helped him develop his game further. The Celtics, known for their rich history and commitment to player development, would have provided him with the tools necessary to refine his skills. Springer now admits that leaving the team prematurely prevented him from tapping into his full potential, and in hindsight, he sees that staying in Boston could have been a more beneficial move for his career. The 21-year-old guard, who has since found success with another team, believes that the Celtics system might have been the perfect place for him to make significant strides. I think it would have been a great experience to stay, learn from the veterans, and compete at a high level, Springer said. Looking back, I realize I made a decision based on the moment, but I see now that it may not have been the best choice in the long run. Although his regret is evident, Springer remains focused on his current career and is determined to make the most of his opportunities. He is aware that in the fast-paced world of the NBA, decisions are made quickly, and sometimes they can lead to valuable lessons. For now, Springer continues to work on his game, aiming to prove that his time with the Celtics could have been just the beginning of what could have been a standout career in Boston. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.